Good afternoon and thank you for joining us on Beetv News Update at 3. My name is Temitope Oluwafemi. And now to the news in details. The Independent National Electoral Commission has announced that the 2027 Presidential and National Assembly elections will hold on February 20th, 2027, with governorship and state houses of assembly polls scheduled for March 6, 2027. The INEC chairman, Professor Joash Amopiton, disclosed the election timetable at a news conference in Abuja on Friday. The announcement comes amid growing concerns over the delayed passage of the amended Electoral Act currently before the National Assembly. INEC had on February 4th indicated that it had completed work on the election timetable and schedule of activities despite the delay. The Commission noted that it has submitted its timetable to lawmakers, but cautioned that some items in the schedule of activities could be affected depending on when the amended Electoral Act is eventually passed. The First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has called for unity and collective responsibility in nation building. The First Lady spoke at the 18th Leadership Newspaper Annual Conference and Award Ceremony, where she emerged as Person of the Year 2025. The report. At the event, she stated that the future of Nigeria depends on the willingness of citizens to work together across cultural and religious differences and interest for the good of all. Senator Oluremi Tinubu dedicated the award to those who have mentored her and continue to do so. Also at the event, the governor of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawal, received an award.
I stand on the shoulders of a lot of people who have mentored and continue to mentor me. This award is for all those who have helped me along the way. It is also for the many Nigerians, especially women, young people, and community leaders who work quietly every day to uplift others and ignite hope in our nation. I equally commend your leadership and lifelong commitment to Africa's development on a global stage.
We are very humbled, and it's an evidence that democracy is working in Nigeria. It's an evidence that despite what we do and where we work, there are institutions that are carefully watching, observing, recognizing performances of individuals assigned to serve our great nation, contributing our own quota in our various areas of job and endeavors towards national development.
Also at the event, the governor of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawal, received the Leadership Governor of the Year award. He emphasized his administration's commitment to delivering visible progress and restoring confidence in governance in Zamfara State. Governor Lawal was commended for his outstanding performances, courageous leadership, and transformative initiative. Temitope Oluwafemi reporting for Beetv News. Justice Egwuatu has rescued himself from 2 EFCC cases against former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami. The cases were recently reassigned to him by the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice John Tosoho. They include a multi-billion naira asset forfeiture suit involving 57 properties and an 8.7 billion naira money laundering charge against Mr. Malami, his wife Hajia Bashir Asabe, and son Abubakar Abdulaziz Malami. Justice Eko cited personal reasons and the interest of justice for his withdrawal. The development occurred when the civil suit concerning the 57 properties was called for mention. EFCC counsel Ekele Iheanacho noted that Mr. Malami's lawyer, Joseph Daudu, requested an adjournment to February 16th due to another engagement at the Court of Appeal. The cases were previously before another judge during the vacation period, after which the Chief Judge reassigned them to Justice Egwuatu, with February 12th fixed for the civil case and February 16th for the money laundering case. The Office of the Auditor General of the Federation says it has been unable to audit many of the country's foreign missions due to lack of funds. It also raised concerns about increasing unpaid rent and an acute staff shortage. The Auditor General of the Federation, Mr. Shakai Kayitukchira, disclosed this during the 2026 budget defense before the House of Representatives Public Account Committee. A review of the 2025 budget performance showed that although 653 million naira was appropriated for the audit of foreign missions, only 300...
Delay in answering queries from MDAs. Delay in presentation of consolidated financial statement by the Accountant General of the Federation. Inadequate funding for the office.
The passport of the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, was seized as he arrived at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport from Egypt. According to the former governor's media advisor, Muyiwa Adekeyi, security operatives approached Mr. El-Rufai as he disembarked from his flight and seized his passport during the encounter. He added that an invitation from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has been delivered to Mr. El-Rufai's residence while he was abroad. He also mentioned that the team had earlier notified EFCC that Mr. El-Rufai would voluntarily appear at their office on February 16th. The National Coordinator of the Sector-Wide Approach Coordination Office, Dr. Mutapa Umar Sadiq, says the vision of the National Health Fellows Program is to build the next generation of healthcare leaders in Nigeria. He made this known during his visit to the onboarding of the school cohort of National Health Fellows in Abuja, where he represented the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate. The program selects emerging professionals from all 774 local government areas of the country and is designed to strengthen leadership and capacity building within Nigeria's healthcare system.
Think about what that means. So you really are the top of the top of the top. Your chances of getting into this program was probably more difficult than even getting into Harvard. I say that because you need to look inward and understand that you are carrying the torch for what is the best of what it means to be a Nigerian. And I think that's a very important thing. When we say the vision of the Health Fellowship is really around developing the next generation of healthcare leaders, we mean that. I think we see the future ministers of health here, the future innovators here. And we've been very deliberate about being agnostic to whether it's health or non-health.
In Rivers State, Governor Similaye Fubara has dissolved the State Executive Council. The governor also directed all commissioners and special advisors to hand over to the permanent secretaries or the most senior officers in their respective ministries with immediate effect. In a statement issued by his chief press secretary, Governor Fubara expressed appreciation to the outgoing members of the Executive Council for their service to the state and wished them well in their future endeavors. This development comes 48 hours after the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, confirmed reconciliation efforts aimed at resolving the political crisis in the state. The minister also mentioned that President Bola Tinubu met with key political actors from the state, including Governor Fubara, as part of efforts to ease political tensions. In Ekiti State, the wife of the governor, Dr. Olayemi Oyebanji, has reaffirmed the state government's commitment to eradicating female genital mutilation, FGM. Speaking in Enugu on the 2026 International Day of Zero Tolerance for FGM, Dr. Olayemi Oyebanji said the effort aligns with her husband, Governor Abiodun Abayomi Oyebanji, Human Capital Development Agenda, while prioritizing the well-being of all citizens, including women. Addressing journalists under the Team 2030 No End to female genital mutilation without sustained commitment and investment, she lamented that many still see FGM as a cultural norm despite its harmful effects, and called for urgent sustained action to protect girls.
It compels us to act differently. Our laws against FGM must move from paper to practice. Our cultural dialogues must move from tacit acceptance to courageous condemnation. Our pulpits and palaces must echo with a unified message of protection.
When innovation comes, there are some people that will first of all accept it and say, oh, this is good, we take it. We call them early acceptors. So there are some communities, there are some individuals that are early acceptors. The moment they hear that FGM is bad, they answer. But there are some people, so in the diffusion trend, there is a particular 10% that is always stubborn. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter how much you campaign, they will still ensure they hold on.
Moving on to the business world. 7 power plants across Nigeria are expected to face gas supply constraints as C-Plant's Energy shuts down a major facility for scheduled maintenance, raising concerns about possible electricity shortfalls and blackouts. The Nigerian Independent System Operator, NISO, has warned. Power plants expected to be directly affected include Egbai Power Plant, Azura Edo Power Plant, Saple Power Plant, and Transcorp Power Plant. Others likely to experience indirect constraints due to network-wide gas balancing effects are NDPHC Saple Power Plant, Olorunshogbo Power Plant, and Omotosho Power Plant. The maintenance will affect gas supply into the NNPC Gas Infrastructure Company Limited pipeline network, temporarily reducing thermal generation capacity on the national grid. According to NISO, the 4-day maintenance could lead to a generation shortfall of about 934.96 megawatts, representing roughly 19.67% of the combined available thermal and hydro capacity of 4,753.10 MW on the grid. In a separate statement, NISO Management and NNPC Limited confirmed that gas supply to 7 grid-connected plants will be curtailed during the exercise. Tinubu approves expansion of legacy road projects nationwide. The federal government has approved major road expansions across Nigeria, including a 8.7-kilometer extension of the Bodo-Boni Road in the Niger Delta and the construction of the Akwanga-Jos-Bauchi-Gombe-Meduguri corridor, reinforcing its commitment to strategic infrastructure, regional integration, and economic growth. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, disclosed the developments during a press briefing at the Ministry of Works Conference Hall in Abuja, describing the approvals as part of President Bola Tinubu's directive to accelerate critical road projects nationwide. The Bodo-Boni Road extension, he said, would significantly enhance access to coastal communities, support trade, and strengthen integration within Rivers State and the wider South-South region. Customs approved Lagos Free Zone Green Channel. In a move to advance Nigerians' trade facilitation, the Nigeria Customs Service has approved the activation of the Lagos Free Zone Green Channel, a dedicated corridor enabling the seamless controlled movement of free zone cargo directly from the Lekki Deep Sea Port to the Lagos Free Zone. As the only free zone in Nigeria with the Lekki Deep Sea Port as its anchor tenant, Lagos Free Zone is now uniquely positioned to offer a competitive advantage in inward logistics. A statement from the Free Zone on Thursday, it was stated that with the official sanction from the NCS-LFZ, has become the first and only zone in the country to operate a sanctioned grid channel, reflecting globally recognized ports-to-free zone logistics and customs integration models implemented in leading trade hubs in the Middle East and Asia. By eliminating traditional bottlenecks between the port and the zone, the Lagos Free Zone Green Channel transforms the operational landscape for tenants. The dedicated corridor enables a port-to-factory velocity that converts location within the zone into a strategic edge, reducing capital tied up in demurrage and truck wait times. Temitope Oluwafemi reporting for BTV News. The U.S. President Donald Trump has announced the repeal of a long-standing federal scientific determination that greenhouse gas emissions endanger human health, marking what analysts describe as the most sweeping effort yet by his administration to dismantle U.S. climate regulations. The report.
The decision targets the 2009 endangerment finding issued by the Environmental Protection Agency, which concluded that carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases pose a threat to public health and welfare. That finding has served as the legal foundation for the wide range of federal climate regulations, including vehicle emission standards and limits in power plant pollution. In a statement released on Thursday, President Trump said the repeal was aimed at restoring economic strength, protecting American jobs, and eliminating unnecessary regulatory burdens on the industry. He argued that previous climate policies had imposed costly restrictions on manufacturers, energy producers, and consumers. By provoking the endangerment findings, the administration has effectively moved the dismantle federal authority to regulate greenhouse gas emissions under the Clean Air Act. Legal experts say the move could significantly weaken or eliminate emissions limits on automobiles, trucks, and certain industrial sectors. As part of the broader rollback, the administration also announced an end to stricter federal vehicle emission standards introduced on the previous administrations. Those standards had required automakers to steadily improve fuel efficiency and reduce tailpipe emission over time. The EPA said it would begin a formal rulemaking process to withdraw the scientific determination, a move that is expected to face immediate legal challenges from environmental groups and several state governments. Critics argue that the repeal ignores decades of scientific research linking greenhouse gas emissions to rising global temperatures, extreme weather events, and public health risk. Environmental organizations condemned the decision, calling it a direct attack on climate science. They warned that removing federal emission standards could increase air pollution, worsen climate change, and undermine U.S. commitment to global climate efforts. Supporters of the president's move, including several industry groups, welcomed the action. They contend that climate regulations have driven up production costs and contributed to higher vehicle prices and energy expenses for American households. The original endangerment finding followed a 2007 Supreme Court ruling in Massachusetts. EPA, which determined that greenhouse gases qualify as pollutants under the Clean Air Act and that the EP must regulate them if found to endanger public health. Legal analysts say reversing the finding could trigger a long court battle. Any final repeal would likely to revive by federal court and could ultimately return to the Supreme Court. The move represents a significant shift in U.S. environmental policy and signals a renewed push by the Trump administration to prioritize domestic energy production and deregulation over federal climate initiatives. Favor Kolawole reporting for Beetv News.
And now to entertainment. Content creator and singer Kata Efe has publicly expressed disappointment after Afrobeat star Wizkid gifted 20 million naira to hype man known as God Over Everything, GOE. The report.
It will be recalled that in 2023, the Afrobeat singer had gifted the hype man the cash after he mentioned him in a video. Although after he had gone viral, following the cash gifts, little to nothing has since been heard about him. In a viral video, Kata Efe stated that he has consistently promoted Wizkid music since the start of his career, dancing and supporting every release. He questioned why the singer chose to gift the money to someone else despite his long-standing loyalty. Kata Efe referenced singing his tribute song Machala and still didn't get any recognition. In another development, a female friend of Queen Dami, wife of Portable, has made a shocking claim about the singer's wife's recent fainting incident. Earlier, Portable claimed that Queen Dami fainted after he questioned her about her affairs with other men. According to the close friend, Queen Dami's fainting incident was staged to gain online sympathy. The friend, whose identity wasn't disclosed during the live stream, shared that she sustained injuries during the planned incident. After arriving at the hospital, the doctor demanded 250,000 naira to commence treatment, prompting Dami to wake up. It's worth noting that Queen Dami and Portable's controversy stems from their on-again, off-again relationship. Portable claimed they reconciled, but Queen Dami denies this, stating he's her ex and she has moved on. The drama escalated when Portable shared screenshots of their chat, alleging she asked for money, and an audio where she discussed financial support. However, Queen Dami has filed a petition against Portable for cyberbullying, blackmail, and threats to her life. Queen Dami was previously married to the late Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi III, and they had a child together. After his passing, she began dating Portable in August 2023, a period marked by public disputes and allegations of infidelity. Cardi B has traded barbs online with the Department of Homeland Security. The rapper and the U.S. government beefed on social media this week after Cardi sounded off on immigration and custom enforcement spray of arrest. On Wednesday, Cardi 33, told fans at a Little Miss Drama Tour concert in Palm Desert, California, she would throw hands if ICE agent arrived at her gigs. In response, a representative from the DHS, which controls ICE, then linked to a news article about Cardi's outburst, accompanied by the statement, "As long as she doesn't drug or rob our agents, we'll consider that any improvement over her past behavior." The caption was a reference to a 2019 social media post in which Cardi B addressed confessions that she had drugged and robbed men in hotel rooms when she worked as a stripper. Evelyn is Zibli reporting for Beetv News.
And now to sport news. Team Nigeria has been handed a feisty World Group 2 draw in the 2026 Davis Cup, where they will face Morocco for a place in World Group 1 in September. The draw for the world's premier international men's team tennis competition renews the recent rivalry between Nigeria and Morocco, which was reignited at the just concluded 2025 African Cup of Nations, hosted by the North Africans. After a tense 120 minutes of football marred by controversial refereeing decisions, Nigeria lost the semi-final 4-2 on penalties. Like the AFCON clash, the Davis Cup World Group 2 tie will also be played in Morocco. Morocco dropped to World Group 2 after losing their World Group 1 playoff against Colombia at the USM Tennis Club Stadium in Casablanca. That feature was also marred by provocative scenes both on the court and in the stands. The advance to World Group 2, Nigeria defeated higher-ranked Uzbekistan 3-1 at the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club, a result that has sparked renewed ambition among administrators and players and improved Nigeria's position in the Davis Cup rankings. Many thanks for staying with us on Beetv News Update at 3. My name is Temitope Oluwafemi. Do have a lovely afternoon. Goodbye.